Hey everybody, it's Safi and Marco, Dish Out on Movies, the only movie review show on YouTube to review movies in terms of food. And it's just Marco here once again. You know what happened today? I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what movie to watch. I was thinking of seeing Nightmare Alley. I was thinking of watching Clean with Adrian Brody, or Ice Age, or this shark movie, the Requin, or the Requin. And I went with the shark movie. Probably a terrible decision. I did it because it was a decent length. I started doing it late because I had to edit another video for another channel, and that took like an hour or more. So I wanted to watch something short. And, oh, God, guys, the Requin, this was terrible. I mean, wow. I have a headache. It was bad enough. I had terrible sleep last night because my cat, he did the annoying ass thing where he got on my bed and he slept by my feet. And so I couldn't properly sleep. I couldn't it's so uncomfortable. I got neck pain, I got back pain, I got a headache now, and this movie just made it all worse. This movie, guys, if you don't like annoying movies, if you like to watch movies that there's just certain movies where they could be annoying to anyone. Like Jingle All the Way. You like watching these annoying scenes where you got all these people screaming and just this chaos and this movie, The Requin, it is one giant hangover. I mean, I can't describe how bad this movie was. It was so bad. And I thought maybe there's so many movies that come out nowadays that are just 6 out of 10s. I thought, could this movie just be a nice little 6 out of 10? Just some nice movie but no, it couldn't have. This movie was terrible. I'm just, these movies are so stupid. They're so stupid. I mean, these movies are making me stupid. I mean, that's how bad this was. You got Alicia Silverstone. Now, here's the thing. I have only ever seen her in the Batman movies. I've never seen her in anything else. I heard this big controversy, or just at least news headlines about her and how she likes to feed food to her children by chewing it up and spitting it in their mouths. And I got to admit, I took a look at her in this movie, and you know what? She can spit in my mouth anytime she wants. I was kind of expecting at one point, is she gonna chew up some food and then spit it in her husband's mouth so that they can survive? That would have been pretty hot. But no, of course not. This movie, it started off, and I thought, this movie's already bad because they start off and it's just one giant exposition dump. You got this terrible thing with there's this flashbacks to her, and she had a baby, but then they had to abort the baby because she was going to die, and so there's all this crap with that. And then there's this horrible exposition scene where she's talking on a phone to her mom and I think her sister. I can't remember these fucking trash characters. But they were talking about, it's a nice trip, your marriage is bad, just all these exposition lines, just completely just dumping them all over us as an audience. It was so annoying watching that. And something that I learned from, and this, by the way, I can't really remember the other movies I've watched so far this year. Wait, yeah, I can. This is the worst movie of the year so far, for sure. I mean, this was way worse than the 355. It was way worse than Scream. It's nowhere near as good as Entropy. So this was terrible. But I gotta tell you something. Psycho 3 is my favorite horror movie of all time. I love Psycho 3. To me, it combines the best elements of all the movies. And I love how Anthony Perkins directed it. And he added so many touches that, that are tributes to Hitchcock, that are tributes to other films. He really did a fantastic job doing Psycho 3. It's so underrated, it's not even funny. And it really gives Norman the best character. And that's off track. But the reason why I say that is because the screenwriter, I went to his website years ago when I was writing a script of my own. And he did this thing where he doesn't want you to send him any scripts anymore because he feels like he's too mean to them, and he doesn't have the time to just analyze these terrible scripts. But he analyzed one, and something that he said always has stuck with me. And I keep it in mind whenever I'm writing this. I just keep it always in the front of my head. He said, never have characters have important scenes of talking on the telephone. Because no matter if you're video chatting or not, that scene is not going to be effective. It is not going to be a good scene. And this whole scene is just huge exposition crap of my husband and I were having trouble because of the baby. Wah, wah, wah. Vacation good. Just all these just bullshit, obvious exposition lines, all done over the phone. We could have had more of her husband, which I'm glad that they didn't, because her husband was the worst actor in the whole movie. Oh, God. I mean, she was terrible, but he was so terrible that, I'm so glad that they kept him off. But I kind of felt like it was on purpose. Like they knew that he was bad or something. So maybe they rewrote at the last minute to have it be a scene with her mom on the phone. Because we could have easily had a scene where they're eating together in a restaurant or something like that, for this terrible story. But no, we had to have her talk to her mom on video chat. And that is a no-no. No, 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 no. Do not write important scenes over the phone. Bad, bad, bad. So anyways, and I know that, people talk on the phone. It's not like it was an abnormal thing. But it was so lame and so bad. And it was just a terrible expositional scene. And so it really took me out of the movie watching that terrible scene. And the rest of the movie is even worse. I mean, just these characters. This movie is basically the life and adventures of Karen and Darren. Okay? Because they make the stupidest decisions I have ever seen. It blew my mind how stupid these people were. They were so brainless and clueless. And they just, I couldn't care less if they got killed. Yeah, I'll miss looking at Alicia Silverstone, because there were some nice shots with her. There was one moment at the end where she was, tying herself underneath a raft. And the shark was literally coming for that ass. I mean, they did a POV shot, and it was I don't blame you, shark. I don't know what the shark's name was, but, I didn't blame him. I would have done the same thing if I was a shark. And then at the end of the movie, she's got this nice scene where you can see her nipples through her shirt, and it's like, oh, she survived, and here's her nipples. And she had some nice nipples, like they were really nice. But she was so bad. Like, she's probably one of the worst. This is one of the worst performances I've ever seen. She basically channeled Nicolas Cage through her performance. She was, the whole movie, I swear to God, the whole movie, she was like, I mean, that's the entire movie. An hour and a half of that, just think about it. It was like standing in a supermarket line behind a Karen, like talking to a black checker outer, and she's like, like, that was her the whole movie. She was overacting her ass off, and she was so bad. She was so bad. She just, the whole movie, and she had these weird flashes of spaciness where she just spaced out, and she had these clear signs of mental retardation, and she's like, and she's having these flashbacks, and it's like, God, this bitch is annoying. Her character is trash. There's nothing to like about her. There's no reason that I would want her to survive any situation, except for the fact that she's kind of hot. There's no other reason. And I say that in terms of, like, writing. You need to write characters who people actually care about. And this biatch, I don't care about her. And now her husband, in all fairness, her husband was bad too. Her husband, the whole movie, God, he was like a walking corpse. He was like, get the newspaper. Ain't gonna survive. I'm get stranded. You're gonna survive now. I'm gonna survive. Like, he was like drunk the whole movie. And I was like, this guy, he is terrible. He's so bad. I mean, even with my impersonation, I can't impersonate how bad he was. I mean, and just listening to those two dipshits the whole movie, I was so annoyed. I wanted to just beat my head in with a baseball bat, like fucking get Negan's baseball bat, Lucille from The Walking Dead, and just fucking beat myself with a baseball bat, because that's how this movie made me feel. Like, these characters were so dumb. They were so dumb. And the movie advertises, and this is not giving anything away, the poster advertises that this is a shark movie. And honestly, I think that that's false advertising. There are sharks that come, they don't come until like 30 minutes are left in the movie. Over half of this movie is just these two dumb Karen and Darren, and they're stranded in the ocean in their room, and then they burn up their room because they're fucking retarded, and just, oh God, they're so dumb. They were like, we need to conserve our water. And then moments later, they're like, nah, fuck it. Let's just drink all of our water so that we can use the bottle to signal for an aircraft. Like, the best actor in the movie was actually this Vietnamese guy. He was in there near the end, and I guess he knew some medical stuff, for plot convenience. There's this, and this is spoilers, there's this terrible fucking sequence where she goes on to land, and then she leaves land to get back in the water to get on the plot convenience raft. And she's with this Vietnamese guy, and he had some alcohol, and he had some fishing equipment, and he fixes up her wounds, and he gave a good performance, because he just did his whole performance where, you couldn't understand his dialogue, because they didn't have any subtitles, but he did a good performance, even without any like dialogue that I could understand. And so I kind of wish that he was in the whole movie. Like, fucking, why not? And as well, in terms of I guess this whole fucking review is a spoiler review. I'm sorry about that. I forgot. You know, I talk about so many movies that, like, I don't care about spoiling, so I just automatically spoil them all the time now. But I'm sorry about that. I'll just label this a spoiler review. But yeah, she fights off this shark at the end. She kills him, and there's multiple sharks, but she kills one of them, the last one. And it just kind of made me feel sorry for the shark. Like, you have this annoying Karen. She's dumb. She doesn't have a brain. And she's like... and she's like killing off the shark. And I just felt bad for the shark. Like, the shark was just feeding off of these fucking retarded people. Like, he was just eating these people that... You know, they're so stupid. I mean, who cares if they get killed? Like, they deserve it. The shark was hungry, and he needed some Alicia Silverstone sushi. And that was another thing, was there was some weird comedy in this movie. A lot of weird comedy. Like, they just started off making all these jokes. Like, just not even good jokes, but, like, all these dad jokes made by the husband. That was another thing. He was just like, he was trying to be funny, and he's not. Like, he was like a walking corpse, like Pierce Brosnan in The King's Daughter. Like, he was Pierce Brosnan, but just even worse, actually. Guys, this movie was bad. It was really, really bad. It was boring. Hardly anything happens in the movie. Even if a movie is just dialogue, the movie should still be good. And I'll tell you what, if you want to see a good movie where characters get stranded in the ocean, I highly recommend checking out Alfred Hitchcock's Lifeboat, because that is a fantastic movie. It's suspenseful. A lot of the movie is just talking, but a lot happens. The characters are great. I love those characters. I can remember all of them right now, even though I last watched that movie in like 2018, so years ago, 4 years ago, and I can remember that movie and cherish it more than this movie I just watched a couple of minutes ago. So yeah, in other words, fuck this movie. It sucks. Don't watch it. Don't support it. Don't do it, because they need to get the message, okay? Hollywood, they need to get the message. They need people to stop supporting bad movies, because they do not take the feedback. Okay, nowadays, when you give Hollywood feedback, they insult you because they hate you. And so you need to send the message back of, okay, if you're not going to listen to the feedback from the audience who actually pays to see these crap movies, then we're not going to support you anymore. And then you're not going to have any funds to make any of these shitty movies. Because I can guarantee you that there was a filmmaker out there with a shark script that was better than this. And the money that was made, that was used for this crap movie, should have been given to that other filmmaker. And I don't know how in the hell this movie got made. Like, what was the pitch for this movie? Like, there's a couple that get stranded on the water. Ooh, there's a squirrel with a nut in his mouth. Oh, wait, no, he's got leaves. That's cool. See, just seeing that squirrel with leaves in his mouth was more entertaining than this entire fucking movie. I hate movies like this, because this movie, it had so little to work with, but it had such great ingredients to work with. Like, you got Alicia Silverstone, and she's still hot, in my opinion, I guess, kinda, and, you know, you got Vietnam. I mean, isn't Vietnam an awesome place, awesome setting? You got the water, you got sharks. How do you screw that up? I mean, how? I give this movie, in terms of food, this movie really reminded me of Funyuns. Funyuns are probably my least favorite chip. I've only ever had one bag of Funyuns, and I couldn't even finish it. And I ate them, and I thought, like, ugh, this is like this movie. They're just so annoying, so chemically processed, so fake, so phony. A bag of Funyuns that has been, like, dunked in water for 30 minutes to represent the ocean in this movie and all that crap. This movie is a bag of soggy Funyuns. So, if you guys like this video, I apologize if I spoiled it for you, but to be honest, sometimes there's movies where, I mean, I understand, like, if you were really excited to watch this movie, that you will watch it, but it's not worth it, so fuck it. Please like this video, comment, tell me what you thought of the Requin. Did you like looking at Alicia Silverstone's nipples? Because they were good, like, they were just popping out of her shirt at the end, and the sun was shining on her, and her shirt was all wet, and I was like, God, those are some nice nipples. Like, those are probably some of the best nipples I've seen in a long time. Like, and I've seen a lot of nipples, okay? I mean, those were supple. Those were some nicely shaped nipples, and a shark would definitely like to eat them. Probably, he probably wouldn't think much of them, but I don't know. I feel bad for that shark. He was hungry, and, like, he's just taking advantage of these fucking retards on the ocean. And then please subscribe to our channel if you'd like to see more honest movie reviews, because here we keep things honest. And sometimes that makes people mad, and usually a lot of the time people don't even listen to the full video. They just listen and cherry pick what they want to hear and then form their own message that they took. But I highly encourage you to always listen to my full videos, because I do these videos offhand. I don't have a script. I don't have a team behind the camera, a team of ugly people who, they don't want to fucking talk on camera themselves. I'm just me doing these reviews, and sometimes I say things that I don't mean because but in this case, I meant everything I said about this fucking trash movie. So, goodbye everybody, see you soon.